Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Curt Premium 4-bike rack carrier here in our 2017 Jeep Cherokee. Now when you're thinking about a way of getting a lot of bikes to the trailhead with you, hanging style is definitely going to be one of your better friends. You're going to get 4 bikes on here with no trouble at all. However, you are going to start running into a few key issues. Those right out of the bat are, if you are having a carbon frame bike, unfortunately today, since we are having frame contact, that won't be an option for ourselves. Now normally with hanging styles too, a thing you have to worry about is our horizontal frame contact. You can see on the end here how much space we are actually needing. We need a very long run of a horizontal frame here. Now with those women's bikes, step-throughs, and kids' bikes, you might have a hard time actually getting these to mount correctly without the need of a bike adapter bar. Now you can pick those up at etrailer.com. However, you take a look at these tapered arms on the end of our Curt Premium, that's where these guys really start coming in clutch for us. You can see how much this actually shortens down that necessary horizontal frame, and that way we're going to have a way easier time mounting either those step-throughs, those women bikes, but especially those kids bikes up on here with no trouble at all. That can really help with those headaches in the morning of getting going on those Saturdays, not having to remember where that extra bike adapter bar is. All we have to do, throw the rack on, and we can accommodate everybody's needs. On the end too, you'll notice we do have some reflectors. I really like pointing those out because I don't think enough carriers actually have them. It's nice to start letting drivers behind us know exactly where we are. That way us and our family is getting to the trails safely and without any kind of incidents. Now the cradles on here aren't going to be anything kind of crazy home to write about. However, they are going to do a good job of holding our bikes on here. You'll notice that we do have kind of a unique design here. The top's going to give us a nice horizontal kind of frame contact here. Our strip's going to go right around to cinch that frame down, and we are going to get that nice vertical post for our anti-sway control. Now that can really start helping you, especially as you get more and more bikes on here. You're going to find yourself getting a lot more sway the more and more bikes we have on here. So that anti-sway will really start helping kind of keep that locked in, a lot less banging around, and it'll start returning it right back to where we want that inertia to be. So that'll be awesome for ourselves. Now this guy does have 180-pound capacity overall, so that's putting you about 45 pounds per bike. Now you might say, well, I could get a little bit heavier bikes on there since I have that overall capacity. I still recommend just kind of keeping it to that 45-pound limit. It's not really rated for e-bikes, so again, I would just keep it on the low end. However, 45 pounds is still going to be great. I don't think any of us are going to have any problem getting most of our bikes up on here. If you have a monster mountain bike, that might be another issue. But today I don't think we're going to have that much to worry about. Let's take these guys off. I just want to go ahead and remove that plastic stripping by pulling the opposite way, exposing the hole and taking it off the post. And removing our anti-sway here. And now I go ahead and take this guy off by gently grabbing either side and walking him away. Now your biggest issue is going to be how many bikes you can get on there and how many dismounts you're going to have. But that's definitely not a bad problem to be experiencing. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these guys really quick just to get them out of the way. Now with any hitch mounted accessory, we are going to be adding a little bit of length to our vehicle, so definitely going to be something we want to keep in mind. Our Cherokee isn't going to be anything too crazy long, but we are getting 4 bikes on this carrier, so definitely be adding a little bit of room. Let's go ahead and check it from the back of our bumper here to the end of our carrier. Is putting us right at 36 inches. I'd say about 36 1/4 inches there to the back from the bumper. So definitely some length to consider, but we do have a way of greatly reducing that. On the end here, you'll notice we have this little spring clip and pin system. It just simply latches onto the other side here. Let's go ahead and pop that guy. And I like to support the mast a little bit just to take a little bit of that tension off. Allows us to bring this back in relatively easy. I want to go ahead and reinsert that just to show us how much play we're having in this position. And then our spring clip just goes right back over it. So you can see we saved a lot of space by doing that maneuver. 4 bikes can really start adding up. In this position, you're not going to have too much play at all. You are going to see it bouncing back and forth just a little bit. Pretty good spacing in the back here too. You can see this little kind of arch, little U-bolt here. It's going to be great for if we have any kind of extra cables that we want to put in here. If we have any locking cables, it can also be a great way to put a strap through and start securing all of our bikes to it. That way we can really do a good job of making sure we're not having any sway. But That's a nice little feature on the end. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how much space we have now. Looks like this is going to be our farthest position from our bumper. And that's going to put us right at 10.5 inches. So definitely going to be shaving a lot of that space now. Don't think we're going to have any trouble getting this in the garage or getting a lot more maneuverability for those tight parking places at the trailhead. Going to be nice that we can actually reduce that quite easily. Now the back of our Cherokee does have some pretty good space that we want to utilize, and we do have a way of doing that. I just want to go ahead to the bottom here. I want to go ahead and loosen this back bolt for our mast. And that's really going to help take a lot of the play out. You can see how much this guy shakes without it. And then I want to start by taking, or I continue by taking out our clip and our pin. And then we're going to let that guy hang because we have a nice little safety cable. I just want to pull this little knob up. That's going to go ahead and allow our mast to actually pivot down and hang here. Make sure we are supporting that. Don't want it crashing in there. But as you can see now, I can get in here, open up my hatch and get anything I might need, whether it be coolers, bike helmets, anything like that. You can also have this on the back and still grab groceries and still sling them into the back of the Cherokee. So nice that we aren't losing, the entire back of our vehicle just for some bikes. So great little system there. To walk it back up, I just want to walk it. You're going to feel that click into place like so. Go ahead and reinsert our pin before we tighten down. Retainer clip to hold it. And we want to make sure we are tightening this back knob for our mast. It's really going to help take a lot of that play out. Get it nice and secure there. Awesome. So definitely nice that we shaved down so much room there. Now another important dimension to keep in mind is our clearance to the ground. Since we are in a hanging style, we shouldn't have too many issues with our bikes ever making contact. I think our biggest issue is going to be the bottom post of our receiver here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look. From the bottom of the ground to the back here, puts us right under 10 inches. So about 9 and 15/16 right there to the end. Definitely a height that I want to keep in my mind. It's nothing too crazy, but it could be causing us some issues if we have any very steep terrain. Keep in mind as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch mounted accessories. But as long as we're being careful, I don't think we'll have too many issues. Moving our way in the receiver here, you will see we have a 2-inch receiver here. For our 2-inch shank here for our 2-inch hitch receiver. On the end, you will notice too, we do have a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt. Now these are pretty standard, but what they do is they bring our shank in line with our hitch. And as I give this guy a shake, it is shaking the entire vehicle. So what's happening there is we're taking a lot of that play out. Our carrier's not going to be shuffling as we are going down the road. It's going to make a nice smooth ride for ourselves, our bike rack, and our bikes. We just have a simple little clip on the end here too, just to actually retain that end. And that kind of brings me to my only issue with this guy. We don't have a great way to actually securing everything to our bike rack. We are looking at kind of another expenditure of getting a cable lock and even a locking hitch bolt if we had to. However, definitely give me a caveat that I'm going to keep in my mind, as I think the tapered arms really start setting it ahead of the other carriers out there, especially if you're family oriented and are having trouble with those horizontal frames on the specific bikes. Well, I think that about does it for a look at the CURT Premium 4-bike rack carrier here on our 2017 Jeep Cherokee. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.